4 minutes, Mr. Kerr.
Well, I congratulate Alistair Allen on this debate. But it's a great pity that the SNP didn't put as much energy into contesting the 2016 referendum campaign as they have since moaning about the result. They spent twopence halfpenny on the campaign, and that was back when they had more than 2 farthings to rub together. No, it is in the best tradition of the SNP that they struggle to accept any referendum result. The people of the United Kingdom collectively decided that the United Kingdom's membership of the European Union had run its course, and I am no less a European today than I was on the day that Britain left the European Union. Of course, Scotland and the rest of the United Kingdom remains closely attached to Europe, both geographically and in every other respect. And there are lessons for the SNP that are on offer since we left the European Union. Let's take the economy. The UK economy is now the joint fastest-growing economy in the G7, equal with Canada, outpacing France, Germany, Italy, Japan and the United States. Those are official figures. The UK is now the 4th largest exporter of goods and services globally, moving up from 7th place in the rankings in 2021. The United Kingdom has since overtaken France, the Netherlands and Spain. So what would be so bad about trying to keep up with the countries in the European Union in other areas too? For example, nuclear power. Here's John Swinney at FMQs on the 16th of May. The Scottish Government will not support new nuclear power stations in Scotland. And here's the contribution from the European Union. The Council of the EU Member States and the European Parliament agreed on Tuesday, 6th of February, to label nuclear power as a strategic technology for the EU's decarbonisation. Will the SNP follow the EU's pragmatic lead and label nuclear power a strategic technology for Scotland's decarbonisation? Alistair Allen is about to tell me.
Alistair Allen.
Perhaps the member would acknowledge that the European Union leaves it up to member states as to which member state builds a nuclear power station, and we don't find EU member states attempting to tell each other to have nuclear power stations in their respective territories.
Stephen Kerr.
Well, Alistair Allen has his own excuses for the cover story that the SNP give for their denial of the science of nuclear energy. So let's try gene editing technology. The SNP remains opposed, but earlier this year the European Parliament voted to ease the regulation on gene-edited crops. Why not follow suit? And how about illegal immigration? Here's what the Austrian Chancellor said this week, and I know that the Cabinet Secretary has a great vested interest in Austria, so perhaps he's familiar with what the Chancellor said. The Rwanda model is a solution for us to have asylum proceedings in safe third countries, and that is something we need to put on the EU's agenda as well. The UK is therefore a pioneer in this model, a model and a path that will be important for Europeans as well. We support the British path and the British model. And it's not just Austria, because week before last, 15 leaders of EU states, including Austria, called for new solutions to address illegal migration into Europe, which includes the idea of relocating asylum seekers to third countries. I'm reading this from the Times, by the way, I'm not making this up. The countries that signed the letter last week were Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Greece, Italy, Cyprus, Latvia, Lithuania, Malta, the Netherlands, Austria, Poland, Romania and Finland. And one last area where the SNP, I think, could stop bleating and do something positive, and it's already been mentioned. It's the moan about Erasmus+. Well, sitting alongside the Turing scheme for which Scottish students are eligible, the Welsh Government, Labour Government, and I'm a Tory, have set up Tithe. They will spend £65 million on Tithe up to 2026. I will give way to the Cabinet Secretary.
Grateful for Stephen Kerr giving way. The European Union has made it abundantly clear that the United Kingdom would be welcome back in the Erasmus Plus scheme and welcome back in Creative Europe. Does he agree that that would be the right thing to do?
Stephen
Well,
Kerr,
the Cabinet
winding
Secretary
up.
raises the current position of the European Union. The whole reason we got to this point was because they wouldn't allow the United Kingdom to remain part of Erasmus+, and hence Turing, and hence Tithe. And I speak in praise of Tithe, because students from Wales have both Turing and Tithe to allow them to continue to benefit from international exchanges, just like Erasmus. Except, I don't think I have the time, I do apologise, except Erasmus, except with Turing, of course, and with Tithe, it goes beyond Europe. Now, look, the whole point of this is if the Welsh Government can do it, and by the way, the SNP promised to do it, why haven't the SNP delivered? Is it because the SNP prefer gum bumping and grievance over delivering substance? Of course they do.
Thank you, Mr. Kerr. I now